Greetings from East Tennessee, guys. Foothills of the Smoky Mountains. It is Styler 6969, aka Beef Stew, coming at you tonight, Monday night. It's about 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I have not been around this weekend. Had family visiting. I had my sister and brother-in-law in for the weekend from South Florida, and so I wasn't really on YouTube for the most part. I cooked dinner for them here in the camper Saturday night. Sunday, they came by. I cooked brunch here. We had brunch outside. And Sunday, they spent the day. They hit a couple of exhibits. They went downtown to the Dolly Parton statue, took some pictures, strolled around downtown, and then we went out for dinner. To an Italian restaurant, local Italian restaurant here. It was not great, so I'm not going to mention the name. But we had a good time for the most part, even though the food was not as good as I thought it would be. But we did have a good time. They bought me some banana apple bread from one of the places they were at today, and a big fat pound hunk of fudge from another place they were at. So I have that. I have leftovers from the dinner I made. I smoked up a pork tenderloin, did a dry rub on it, and roasted off some sweet potatoes, and just did a simple garlicky green beans with some baby tomatoes in them, and that was pretty much it. And then we had some dessert, and it was nice. It was a nice visit. And then they flew back this morning. They drove back to Knoxville to the airport and flew back to Florida. So I went on YouTube a little bit this morning, see what was doing. Sarasota Tim, from when I left him the last time, the last video I made of Sarasota Tim was Raffaello's big birthday dinner, where he went and just picked up a couple slices of cake instead of a whole pie or a whole cake or something. But yeah, then I looked at the thumbnails for what was from then until now, and I saw nothing. The channel's quiet. There's no juice to squeeze there, so to speak. I can't even find anything to make a video of on him right now. So let's move on from Tim, I guess, since there's nothing really going on there. That's the thing about Tim, is the whole Sarasota Tim universe that he created. He's like the least interesting part of now. The characters around it are where the action is, and I think people are starting to see that. I'm starting to get some traction on my channel, and other people that are a little bit more open-minded to the situation are getting some more traction on their channel. So we'll see. Might be a new generation of haters coming in. We still have the Life and Vibe and Karl the Bohemian Nomad beef going on. I looked at a couple of their videos, and their beef's still going strong. Ray, I can't watch the lives, so I just scroll through the chat rooms and see what's doing, and you can pretty much get a handle on what's going on in the chat room. The best part about the chat room, I was talking with Karl and Cowpo tonight on his show about the chat room now, I noticed, is everybody that's in there that's a new name, it seems like they immediately get suspicious of. They're so paranoid in there, and they immediately start saying that he's me. And to me, that's the best. I love that more than anything, because like I was saying tonight on Cowpo's show, when I did the Styler channel in the beginning, and I kept it, I made it pretty much known that it was me, without saying it was me. I mean, you could pretty much tell. Everybody knew. But I never said it was me. And then when I said it was me, I knew that was going to be the point where now anytime there was somebody new in a chat room or something, in a chat under, or a new comment, or anybody new in the world, all of a sudden everybody's going to get suspicious and think it's me. And sure enough, I'm in the chats and I'm looking around and I see, the beaver, that was supposed to be me. Then there's a new beaver, and that's supposed to be me. And then I saw, in one of her latest lives, what was it? There was somebody in there, another one, RV Life something, I don't know, RV Life or something like that, something with RV. And they were in there, and they made a couple comments, and it wasn't, and the comments I saw, maybe they did something earlier and I missed it, but the ones I saw were pretty benign. And Ray kind of mentioned them, and then the chat room just kind of piled on. And all of a sudden, now this guy was beef stew. So, like I told Karl and Cowpote, my job is pretty much done. Everybody knew it was going to be me, and they're going to be suspicious if everybody knew. So I'm good with that. But yeah, their beef is still going on. And then now they're doing like videos back and forth at each other. It's like an 80s rap beef. If any of you guys were around back in the 80s, Eazy-E and Dr. Dre and all that, and they started doing the beef records back and forth. This is what we got here. Ray's going to be suing Tim April 10th. I'm going to try to attend the trial. I have to make a road trip down to Florida at that time of the year anyway for personal reasons. It's about I haven't spoke to my sisters about it yet, but it's about in that area, so I can move some stuff around. I am sure. St. Louis Scott said if he's around, he might meet me there as well. We spend a day or two in Virginia Beach. We can hang out, and maybe just me and him could ride around in Sparky, and then we'll go to the show, go to the trial. And I'm sure it's open to the public. I'm sure anybody can just go in and sit down in the pews and, observe the trial. So, like I said, it's something I'm definitely interested in, and I know Scott is as well. So, that could be something good. We could actually maybe do a video from there. Scott's got the drone. We could do drone footage. And I could do a live on my channel. That'd be awesome. And we'll get to meet Ray. Maybe Tim. I don't think Tim's going to show up. I think Tim is kind of laughing this whole thing off, as most of us normal people are. But we will at least get to meet Ray. I imagine that would be worth it. That'd be worth the trip. Yeah, she's still beefing at Karl because Karl, doesn't want to pick up a pitchfork and join the mob with her, and neither do I. Like I said, I think those people are dwindling. The people that are really looking to kind of really hurt Tim. The numbers are dwindling there. They're dying off. They're getting older, and then they're just dwindling. Some of it's because of Ray. She's getting a little bit too. I think she's flying off the handle a little bit too much. I noticed, like I said, even when I was still listening to the lives, she gets very mad. If you do not toe the line in that chat room, she gets pissed and she goes off. And I think even her most loyal fans in there are starting to see the cracks in her. It seems like she's almost falling apart before our eyes. I don't know, but I think she's losing support little by little. I notice if you go to like other videos on other channels that aren't exactly Ray supporters, and you go into the comments, you will see comments on people that are Ray's loyal supporters. On my videos, God forbid if she ever looked under some of my comments and saw some of her supporters that are on her chats, I see them in there, just glazing her up a storm, like she likes to say, just glazing her up and down like a donut, and they're in my videos, in my shorts, digging on them. The ones I make about her too, they like it. So there's cracks in that base. It's like Trump. There's cracks in the base forming. Like I said, I don't think anything's going to happen with this trial. I just don't. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but it just seems frivolous and ridiculous. And I think the judge is going to look at it and see the same thing. I could picture Ray, like, God forbid it's a man judge, and he has to stop her or interrupt her or correct her on something. Then he'll see what's what, and that's going to be case closed. It would be pretty funny if the judge ruled against her and they made her pay like restitution to Tim. That would be hilarious. But yeah, so now, so that's, like I said, that's still going on. And now we have a new villain, it seems like, guys. We have a new villain in the works. St. Louis Scott is now a villain. I don't know why, but he's a villain. JJ made a video about him yesterday, about him playing both sides of the fence and how that's dangerous. I don't know why that's dangerous. I don't know why we're turning on St. Louis Scott. I mean, St. Louis Scott supported, he sent Tim buy me a coffees. He bought Tim Dunkin' Donuts coffees. Tim mentions them on the channel. In the same token, he supports Ray's channel as well. He has supported Ray. I don't know why you can't support both. I don't know why this world has to be so divisive. I don't know why channels like Jay and Life and Vibe and Grandma's Pocketbook and Darling They try to make this Sarasota world so divisive. It's you have to hate Sarasota Tim with a vengeance like they do, and not watch anybody's content that doesn't, or you can't be in their community. It's like a cult. But it's like I said, it's starting to crumble. Ray is making it crumble with just her. So anyway, yes, now we have St. Louis Scott, the guy who just kind of is. If people don't know about St. Louis Scott, let me tell you who St. Louis Scott is, from what I can understand. And again, here's what Jay's gonna say, and here's what some of the haters are gonna say. How do you know? It's what he says. Okay, guys, we're all watching videos here. We know what we know. Okay, that's all we know. We know what we see. Here is what I could see St. Louis Scott is. St. Louis Scott to me is a guy who's retired. He's divorced. Hopefully he wasn't married to a person like Ray. God forbid. But he's a guy, he's divorced. He was an airline pilot for 30 plus years, it seems like. He's retired. He has a little townhouse, he says, in St. Louis, his home base. And then he has a beautiful RV that he travels around in. I looked it up. I looked at the model. I checked out the brochure online. And it's a beautiful RV. It's not a piece of garbage, guys. It is not an FKBS. And he travels the country, and he does what he wants, and he's got his drone. He does drone videos, and he goes to different sites, and he does stuff when he travels. He's not like Tim. He doesn't go truck stop to truck stop. This guy stays in $350 a week resorts. How do I know? Because he films himself there. He films himself hooked up. I don't think this guy is pulling into a resort, setting up his whole trailer, putting the sewage pipes on and the hose and the electric setup, pulling out the slides, unhitching his car, and then filming a video and then leaving. No, he's staying there. This guy has money. He retired with a pension. He probably has. He says he does some day trading and stuff. I see him on Dan's channel commenting and stuff like that. And the guy has disposable income. And he's living to what I could see from his videos. If anybody wants to go check out his channel, St. Louis Scott, you will see a happy-go-lucky guy living his best life. He is not a miserable like JJ and Darling and Life and Vibe and Grandma's Pocketbook and the rest of them. They are miserable human beings, it seems like to me. I don't know. It's like I said, all I see is what I see. I watch his channel. Very uplifting. Here's a guy traveling, looking at sights, seeing all the things he wants to see, having fun, spending a couple bucks on a moron on YouTube, and these guys get mad at him. We are now all supposed to goof on a successful retired gentleman who's living his best life out there. That's who we're supposed to make fun of now, according to JJ. Okay. I don't see it. You guys want to do it? That's on you. But remember, he's dangerous. He bought Tim coffee, yet he also bought Life and Vibe Buy Me a Coffees as well. Yay. So what else we got going on here? Z-Car. So Z-Car's another one. He's another one that he has an actual beef with Tim. There's actually, like I said, there's a couple people out there that have an actual beef with Tim, that have an actual right to be as mad as they are at Tim. And that's Z-Car and JJ, because they had relationships with him. And I guess Tim obviously screwed them somehow. JJ, I kind of know the story from the videos. Z-Car, Karl told me that something did happen. I'm not aware of it, but if Karl says it, I believe it. So yeah, they have legitimate beefs with Tim. The rest of us are just watching a retard on YouTube. I mean, we shouldn't be that mad. We shouldn't be that invested. His EIDL loans, the government is lucky to get the $300 a month they're getting from him. They'll get it till he dies, and that's it. They're not going to go after him. Again, Karl's an attorney. I don't care how good of an attorney he is. He's better than anybody who's on here that doesn't have a law degree. He knows more than anybody on here that does not have a law degree. If he's the worst lawyer in the world, he knows more than us. Okay? And what he said is that the government is well aware of Sarasota Tim. They are well aware of his case. The Justice Department in Florida has his case. They are not sitting there waiting for Ray's little package of information to arrive on their desk to be like, oh, Sarasota Tim. We got one, guys. We got one. I mean, come on. They're going to spend more money going after a guy living in a trailer who has nothing to his name. Just like her. She's going to get bupkis from this lawsuit. She might as well sue Rocky the Squirrel. Rocky the Squirrel, I'm sure, has more assets than Tim does at this point. But yeah, that's it on that. And then New York Dan, all I got to say to you is, New York Dan, you got to get to stalking Tim, because your last couple travel videos, I can't even watch. You are not a travel vlogger. Stay in your lane. In your little studio, in your little house there, making your videos on Tim. Those are funny. So until you go on a cruise and start doing some stuff, or what I thought this trip was about was meeting Dinger and stalking Sarasota Tim. When are we going to get to this? You've been on the road for a few days already. I've made that journey. But yeah, so New York Dan, let's step it up with those videos, dude. You're losing your audience. We're getting bored. And that's it, guys. That's it for this week. Again, hope you guys are enjoying the parodies still. The AI. I like doing them. It's fun. The new one today with St. Louis Scott and me. I only did that because Z-Car put one out today about St. Louis Scott and me flying around in a plane. The only problem is Z-Car doesn't take the time to like make the characters kind of look like anybody. So you can't really tell who anybody is. It's like it's just a guy flying in a plane and then Rob Reiner answering the phone. The idea of a parody is you should be able to know who you're parodying when you look at it. When a viewer looks at the parody, they should be like, oh, that's Sarasota Tim, or that's Cowpote, or that's so-and-so. You know, Sarasota Tim Sarasota Tim has it down. He's the OG. He doesn't like me. He won't give me advice. Like I said, I'd still have to figure out how to go to the 16:9 aspect ratio on the videos, but he will not give me the information. But I'm sure he likes you. So maybe you should get some advice from him, because your videos, like I said, they could be funnier. Like I said, that video could have been funnier if you knew that was St. Louis Scott flying the plane. I mean, the guy flying the plane looked like he was in his 20s, and St. Louis Scott is in his 60s. And then you have him calling Rob Reiner on the phone, which I don't know why he's calling Rob Reiner. What does Rob Reiner have to do with this whole Sarasota Tim universe? Have him call me. So that's why I made the video today, to show Z-Car that it can be done. You know, it can be done, so it actually looks like who it's supposed to be. But yeah, Sarasota Tim could probably give you some tips on that. He won't give me tips, but he'll definitely give you tips. If you want to improve, he would be the guy I would ask. That's it, guys. So if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up, as always. Subscribe to the channel if you feel like it. If you don't. Like I said, I really subscribe to not much anymore. I think that's going to go away at some point. But like I said, if the numbers go up, they go up. I'm sure it'll piss Ray off a little bit. So if you want to annoy Ray, hit the subscribe. You want to annoy Darling and the rest of them, hit the subscribe. And that's it, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you in the next AI. And as always, from the East Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains, peace.